Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay.
Hello and welcome to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I am your host, Nick Fiorentino, and alongside me are Tim Sikora and Chris Shaw. Chris, how we doing?
I'm all right, man. We good. We got football today. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
We got football today. Gus Edwards is hurt. Marcus Peters is hurt. Tim's feelings will be hurt on Sunday, and Scott's will be hurt today. Scott, how we doing, buddy?
I'm right. Just T-minus a few hours before my team's 0-1 and my weekend is completely ruined. But we'll get to that.
We will get to it. It's going to be a big game. We got a lot of bets for not just today, but for the entire weekend of football. We appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the show at SBFS Show on Twitter, on Twitch. But you already know that if you're watching. You can check out our shows on the YouTube channel, TruExact Radio, and it'll be dropping on Saturday. Obviously, the prop bets won't be relevant for the Saturday show, but you can definitely hear our picks for our DFS lineups and for our top bets of the weekend. And without further ado, Scott, I think you got some shows to promote coming down the line.
Yeah, for TruExact Show, Nickelodeon month will be continuing. We have the creator of Clarissa Explains It All coming on, the creator of Are You Afraid of the Dark? We're still in talks with Summer Sanders to try to get her on. We've been in contact. We're just trying to get a date set. We have Donnie Jeffcoat coming on from Wild and Crazy Kids, an old Nickelodeon show. And for the future, we got Rab himself from Jackass and Viva La Bam, and Laser from American Gladiators will be coming on, which I'm very interested.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, some random people, but yeah, that's it.
Well, if you ever get Budnick and Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts, let me know. And
I've tried for Budnick. He left me seen on Instagram with no response. I'll just leave it at that.
Fair enough. Well, without further ado, this isn't a trip down the 90s. This is week one NFL kickoff. So without further ado.
While we do our shots and drinks, make sure if you guys haven't put it in yet, the no-brainer. It's going off tonight at 8:30. That's the last time you can put it in. DraftKings giving away $50 free. I guarantee you the Cowboys are not going to win by 75 points. I promise you.
We don't know that.
My best bet of the weekend right there.
Yeah, that's an automatic dub. That'll get you $50 into black. Just hope you stay there. That's all.
Not unless Sir's playing as Tampa and Madden. I would say that's not a possibility.
Wait a minute. Hold up, fam. Hold up. Wait a minute.
But the best sound is so we're ready to rock and roll.
What Longhorn drink you got there? What the hell is that? Texas?
It's hard seltzer. It's whatever's in my fridge that I grabbed first because I knew I was behind.
Spicy ranch seltzer. God bless you.
Bro, it's good. I didn't sneeze though, but it's good. It's really good.
That's
so
not be me.
Before that's white people shit right there. That's white people shit right there.
What are you drinking, Scott?
$12 gin out of a plastic jug with tonic.
Sounds good. All right. So I figure we'll start with just around the horn, what we expect from the season from our teams. Because I'm an Eagles fan, Scott's a Dallas Cowboys fan, Tim is a Jets fan, and Sir just hates the Giants. There's a good chance we'll all bring up our expectations for the Giants this year as well. But without further ado, I'll kick it off first since I'm the host. In terms of the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't have big expectations. They did not do well last year. We all know that. Doug Peterson's gone. Carson Wentz is gone. They drafted yet another first-round wide receiver. I'm looking forward to watching him. I'm looking forward to seeing year two from Jalen Hurts. I will tell you, I have absolutely zero expectations, and I'm just going to enjoy the season. But the last time I said that I was enjoying the season with no expectations, happy to watch a second-year quarterback take a leap. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think Jalen Hurts can have a really good year. I'm looking forward to seeing the rookie wide receivers, like I said, and seeing what Nick Sirianni can do. So that's my feelings on the Philadelphia Eagles. Scott, you are the guest, and your team plays tonight. This is the bathroom break of our show for anybody that wants to just quick take a leak. Scott, your expectations for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I'll say this. I was upset and I was going to be like, I don't have any faith in this team and I'm pissed off every year. But then, I'm on a show with, no offense, a guy like Tim who's a Jeff fan. And I do realize, I am fortunate as a Cowboy fan because every year since, 2006, there is somewhat hope. We've had a quarterback. You know what I mean? So I complain we're 9-7, 8-8, but all I really ask for as a fan is for the December games to mean something because it is very hard to win a Super Bowl. That being said, the defense is going to stink. Last time I thought the defense was going to be horrible was 2014. We ended up going 12-4. So Nick, I'm trying a little reverse psychology as well, like you. But best bet, I could see this team maybe hosting a playoff game. No further than that. I think if they don't make the playoffs this year in this division with a whole year of prep, McCarthy should go. He really should. You're just not the fit. Get someone young in. But I expect Dak to have a very good year. I'd probably put him in a top 3, maybe with MVP just to prove something. But the defense stinks. I don't know, man. I actually do expect them to play Tampa pretty well. I think if you're going to play Tampa, play them week 1 before Tom Brady gets rolling. You got the banner raised. You got the home game first week. Anything could happen week 1. So that's where I'm at with that game. And that's it, man. That's it for me. So that's the NFC East, I guess, Nick.
All right. Sir, what do you got? The 49ers. When is Trey Lance taking the reins, and what do you see from your 49ers?
First of all, I really hope this year is not like last year. Because last year, everybody and their mama got hurt. I'm pretty sure the water boy tore his ACL trying to give somebody some Gatorade. As long as my boys stay healthy, we should be all right. I'm saying, but, playoff berth, wild card at a minimum. I'm pretty sure the division, I'm saying, everybody's hyping up the Rams, Seahawks, but I see no reason why my boys can't win that division.
All right, fair enough. While I trash talk Latch, Tim, why don't you talk to us about what the Jets are going to do this year?
Oh, the Jets are going to be absolutely terrible. But we do have a rookie quarterback, Zach Wilson, and all I'm looking for is some sort of positive progression. I need to see that he could be the future. I can't deal with another wasted years of possible quarterback progression. We don't have Adam Gase anymore. Thank the fucking Lord in heaven for that. And I mean, that's basically it. I don't think anyone in their right mind is picking the Jets to go to the playoffs, me included. They're arguably one of the worst 4 teams they could, if they're the number 1 pick next year in the draft, I wouldn't be surprised, but
I would.
We'll see. Wow.
I'd be surprised. If they were the number 1 pick, I'd be surprised.
You haven't seen them play yet. So
listen, there are a lot of teams out there that is what we call basura. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to say win total for the Jets is probably 5.5, somewhere around there. If I was making.
So if they get
myself.
5 wins, they're not the number 1 pick. You know what I'm saying?
In theory, yeah, you're correct. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were a 3-win team. I just wouldn't.
No, your coach gonna have them playing hard. I'm saying he'll have them playing.
Hey, Nick, can I say something really quick? It'll be quick, I swear. But I'm on a show with a Niner fan, an Eagle fan, and a Jet fan. And as a Cowboy fan, I know we're annoying. We're very annoying as Cowboy fans.
You don't say.
We are the most, out of all 3 of these teams, we've suffered the longest. And to hear it.
That's not true at all.
Oh, please. 25 years, they haven't been to a championship game. You just won a Super Bowl. Sir has been to 2 in 10 years. Tim has seen back-to-back AFC championships, in the last 11 years. So, I get it, but as a Cowboy fan, we talk the loudest, but I actually think we've suffered the most expectation-wise to record, if that makes sense.
Sir, you were half correct. Y'all teams talk the loudest. Y'all fans will not shut up. All y'all do is talk. America's team. If y'all don't shut up.
I think you mean most recent success because the Cowboys have been
right.
successful.
Yeah, since the 2000s probably, I guess.
Is anybody planning on going to any games this year?
I plan on going to the Cowboy-Philly game in Philly the last week of the season.
Okay. I'm going to the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Giants on the 10th. So for all the shit I talked about the Cowboys, I'm going to Dallas to watch them.
Sir, out of those two teams, I didn't hear the Eagles mentioned.
Yeah, very strange.
Those tickets cost too much. Yeah, you understand who you're talking about down there.
I'm going to just enjoy football and the guys I have on my fantasy teams. Sir and Tim, you going to any games this year?
Hell no. I got the best seat in the house or at the bar. I could watch fucking 12 games at once. Ain't no reason to go to a football game. I've been to football games before. Once you've seen it once, you see them all. Unless it's a playoff game, to me, it's just another game.
Yeah. As of this year, as of right now, no. But last year, I was supposed to go to like 3 games because my boys played the Jets, Giants, and Philly all at the crib. Or at their and no, sorry, they played Philly. They played Jets, Giants, and the Patriots. And I was supposed to go to them games, and well, COVID happened, so I didn't go to any of them. But this year, no games are really that close.
All right. Well, there you have it. We will jump right into our DFS lineups. Spoiler alert, I did mine 10 minutes ago, so don't take my picks, but I definitely have some guys that I think will play well. I don't know if it will be conducive to a winning lineup. So I will not go first. Sir, you seem to have the most success in this last year, so why don't we kick it to you first?
All right.
Sir,
What's up, Hip?
can I make your first pick? Running back Jonathan Taylor for whatever he costs. No? Okay.
Not. I mean, I was thinking about it, but no.
You're changing it up.
I actually did try something here. So at quarterback, Nick, I went with your boy, young Jalen Hurts, at 6,400. Only strictly because like he throws the ball and he's a running quarterback, and you get 1 point for every 10 yards rushing. It's going against Atlanta. Defense isn't very good, so he should have put up some numbers. All right, at running back, I went young, Mr. Alvin Kamara at 8,600. I'm curious to see what the Saints offense looks like with Jameis Winston at the helm. But in history, with Michael Thomas in the lineup, Kamara has averaged 18 fantasy points. Without him, in 8 games, 30 points. Michael Thomas is not playing in the first half of the season, so they're gonna have to get him involved with the passing and the rushing. That sounds like points to me. RB2, I put this dude in my lineup every time. It's not Jonathan Taylor. It's Mr. CMC, Christian McCaffrey at 9,500. What else can I say? That's Christian McCaffrey. That brother puts up numbers. Nothing else to say about that. At wide receiver, I paired Jalen Hurts with Devontae Smith, 4,500. Somebody's got to catch the ball for him. Let's see what this rookie's all about. They drafted him high. Let's see. Wide receiver, I put Devontae Adams at 8,300. Once again, he's Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers and them boys, they're going to put up some points. At wide receiver 3, I went with your boy, Elijah Moore at 3K. I had to go, but cellar dwelling a little bit because I had some big price items, so I had to go, put him in the lineup. Crowder might not play. I think he's not going to play this week, so he'll get some more targets, and at 3K he should meet that value. At the flex, I went with another Moore, Rondell Moore from the Arizona Cardinals at 3K. Again, that against the Titans, that should be a high scoring game because both teams can't stop nobody, and they both can put up some points. At tight end, I went with young Kyle Pitts, 4,400. Let's see what the rookie's all about. Atlanta puts up points, and between him and Mr. Ridley, somebody's going to put up some work. So 4,400, it's a cheap price. Defense, I forgot the number, but it was the Colts defense against Seattle. I think they were 2,300. I think it was. They get sacks. It's out of the cheaper options, it was probably one of the better ones because in DFS lineups, I don't like spending a lot of money on defenses because even when a defense has a great day, they put up maybe 15. All I'm asking for is about 5-6 points. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a couple sacks, maybe a pick if I get lucky. That's it.
Pretty good lineup. I love Moore, man. I have Moore on I think 4 out of 5 fantasy teams.
Which one?
Rondell. It's not my Moore.
Arizona.
Rondell.
Yeah. Tim, what do you got for your lineup?
All right. I got a couple, and by a couple, I mean, I only got one person the same as Sir, so this should be interesting. Quarterback, Nick, I went against your team. I took Matt Ryan for 6K, and I paired him with Calvin Ridley for 7,900 at the wide receiver spot. Philly's defense is bad. I don't think it's any better. They're going to put up some points, and I went for that 1-2 connection. Sir, CMC, there's not much more you can say besides he's playing the fucking Jets. So very good chance that he's going to have a great fantasy day. RB2, with the word that Austin Eckler is hobbled, might not play. Right now I got Josh Jackson at 4K penned in the lineup. You know, of course, I'm not telling you to put the lineup in today, but he's gonna...
Never put a lineup in like this early because anything can happen on Sunday. So I would always wait till about 12 o'clock, 11 maybe, just to put a lineup in.
Yeah, he's at 4K right now, and if Eckler doesn't play or if he's actually hurt, maybe he doesn't play a full game, Josh Jackson's going to get some touches, and that's all you really need for 4K. Wide receiver 2, I guess he's actually my wide receiver 1, Tyreek Hill, 8,200 against Cleveland. It's Tyreek. Wide receiver 3, Marquez Callaway, New Orleans against Green Bay, 3,400. Winston's their quarterback. He's going to chuck the ball up. I imagine that game's going to be a back and forth, high scoring affair. So you'll get some points out of him for 3,400. Tight end, I got my homer, baby. JETS, Jets. Release Chris Herndon, the tight end 1, at least in the preseason he was. Tyler Kraft. Who the fuck?
Oh, Tyler Croft.
Tyler Croft, ex-Buffalo guy. Yeah. $2,500. I mean, Carolina was 25th against the tight end last year. So, you know, he had a solid preseason. We'll see, you know, rookie quarterback. We'll see what that turns into as far as a little connection. Flex, I went Cortland Sutton at 5,200 against the Giants. I'm assuming because Jerry Jeudy was the emerging star last year that he's going to be locked up by Bradbury at the Giants. So Cortland Sutton working as the number 2 at 5,200 sounds like good value to me. And defense, the Broncos, 3,300 against the Giants. I mean, you know they're going to get a couple turnovers. Danny Dimes, I don't think he's the guy. So hopefully week 1 we find out that he's actually as bad as we think he is, and Broncos put up some points.
To me, that's just Jet fan pissed off Darnold wasn't a guy, and they're really hoping for their crosstown rival to not have the guy at quarterback as well.
I mean, I think we've seen enough to know that he's not necessarily the guy.
I don't fear, as a Cowboy fan, I don't, like when we used to play Eli, I'd be like, shit, you know, Eli's going to have a day versus Dallas. I don't feel the same way going up against Danny Dimes. I feel the same way. All right, my lineup, and I'm very bad at this. You guys know I text you for advice. This is not my strong suit, as many would like to think it is. So I'm going to start off at QB with Matt Ryan for $6,000 versus the Eagles, just because, I mean, Matt Ryan has a good year almost every year, but the team stinks. And I know you guys mentioned it. Don't draft a quarterback early rounds because you could get a guy like Matt Ryan around 10, you know, and he could put up the same amount of points as maybe an Aaron Rodgers put up. I paired him with Calvin Ridley for $7,900. It's something I like to do. I like the double points. Quarterback with the number 1. That's probably why I don't win my league at all. Running backs, I went with Jonathan Taylor for $8,000. I think Sir got me on his train last year, and I've been rolling with him ever since. I also went with Aaron Jones for $6,800 with the Packers. I don't know why his name just looked appealing to me, so that's why I did it. Wide receiver, the next 2. Terry McLaurin, I went with the Washington football team, sorry about that, because I figure Fitzpatrick, even though I don't think I don't think they're gonna be that good. I really think they're overrated. Fitzpatrick is gonna just chuck some shit up this week, as he always does. Week 1, I wouldn't be shocked if they score 56 points week 1. McLaurin has like 3 90-yard touchdowns or some shit like that. Wide receiver, I went Tyrell Williams, rookie in Detroit. I drafted him in some of my leagues. It's the money purpose at this point. Why not? Even though I'm not a fan of Goff, you know how I feel about him. Got to have a receiver to throw to. Tight end, I went with Njoku. Money reasons again. Flex, I went with Jerry Jeudy, $4,800. And then Tim kind of made me question this as he explained his reasons not to, but I'm sticking with it. And defense, I went with the Falcons because I don't think Jalen Hurts is good at all, and I think the Eagles are gonna have a rough year. And it was $2,000, so fuck it. That's what I thought of. And like Sir said, even if your defense has a good game, your defense having a great game is equal to a running back having an average game. So I balanced that out. That's mine. Don't listen to me, anybody out there.
We're not. So my lineup, kicking off with Matt Ryan at quarterback. No. No, I did actually take Matt Ryan at quarterback. So I took Matt Ryan. Just historically, I don't think the Eagles are going to have a very good defense this year. I know somebody in the chat just kind of chimed in that they think it's going to be underrated. I hope he's right. At the end of the day, it looks like they're pretty stacked up front, and their defensive backs are not so great. So I'm taking Matt Ryan. I paired him with Ridley, and I paired him with Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, I don't have his money in front of me, but Ridley's 8.1 and
4,400.
There you go. And Matt Ryan 7.3. So my running backs, I took Carson and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'll take the running back on the best offense. And Carson, I just think, is going to be able to run. I think Seattle will win that game. 6.7 and 6.8 for the money for those two. My other two wide receivers, A.J. Brown, 7.8. Big total in that game. A lot of receiving. And A.J. Brown should get a little bit softer coverage due to the fact that I think a lot of people are going to be all over Julio Jones. I did take Laviska Shenault, who I was big on in fantasy this year. 5.6. This is on the assumption of rational coaching, and I don't think Urban Meyer is a very good coach. So I don't know what we're really going to see. I'm hoping that he does the right thing and Laviska Shenault plays well. I know Evan Silva, who I follow a lot for fantasy, compared him to a poor man's Brandon Marshall, which I like to see. I think he could be very, very good. My flex position, and I hate to do it, but I had a lot of money. I took Travis Kelce, 8.5. I would never have two tight ends on my lineup, but 8.5 for Travis Kelce should be good. And then it seems like most sharps in the stuff that I look at invest as little money as possible in defense. So I took the Bengals, the worst defense there, for 3,000. So Vikings, who knows? Kirk Cousins may be good for a couple turnovers. I don't have a lot of expectations on my defense getting points, but I also don't think Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback. So that's where I'm at when it comes to my fantasy team. But obviously, I will tweet out my lineup I'm going to have for tonight with the MVP function. If you guys like doing showdown slates, I'll have my team and I'll tweet it to the website or to Twitter at SBFS Show. So that I'll take a little more serious. That's my forgiveness to you guys. So we're going to save the prop bets for tonight's game to the end because I feel like most of you are here to listen to that. So we will kick it next to our parlay picks, and we're going to do something different. We're not going to pick the primetime games because in a lot of instances, as we mentioned in week one, we probably wouldn't have bet those games if it wasn't for the fact that we were doing that. And I think it was reflective in some pretty poor standings that eventually I won. Even though I was in last place literally the entire year, I did win. So I want to make mention one more time that I did win the primetime bets for last year. So I will start as the reigning defending champ. Let's do this because I know a lot of people like to see the standings. Let's do our three best bets. But if you have additional bets that you would make or that you plan on making, throw them in there too. But we will lock down the top three bets. And I will go first. I understand Gus Edwards is hurt. I understand Marcus Peters is hurt. I understand that Baltimore has a very colorful running back core now with Le'Veon Bell, Williams, and now they just signed Devontae Freeman. So they're a pretty interesting running back team right now. I do think Baltimore's going to absolutely smash the Raiders. So I'll take Baltimore laying 4 against the Raiders. I also think the Rams are going to absolutely destroy the Bears. So I like them at laying 7.5 against the Bears. I just think Matt Stafford knows the Bears, right? So he's going to be able to kind of know what to expect. I don't think the Bears are very good. I think they're even worse with the Red Rocket. Red Rifle, whatever his name is, at quarterback. I know I was big on him last year in week 1, not this year. So no to the Red Rocket / Rifle. And I will take Denver laying 3 against the Giants. I just think Teddy Two Gloves is a much better quarterback than people give him credit for. I don't think the Giants are a great team. They start out slow every year. They have a very tough schedule coming up, so there could be a little bit of trap game here. I understand Denver is traveling across, but I just don't expect the Giants. We don't know what Barkley is going to look. They might scale him back. They have a game on Thursday night, so we don't know what that's going to look like either. The Giants have a game Thursday night. It could be the Devontae Booker revenge game, but I do not think it's going to be. So I will take Denver laying 3. I also like 2 bets. I do like the Eagles money line. I do think they're going to win. And I like the over 52.5 in Arizona and Tennessee. There's not a lot to hate about that game from a point scoring standpoint. Tennessee's defense is absolutely horrible, and we know what Kyler Murray can do with the guys he has. And we know Tennessee's wide receiver corps, if they're trailing, they have a lot of weapons to throw to. And then, of course, they have the big dog at running back. So that's where I'm at in my bets. Scott, we'll kick it to you first.
Well, since I'm being yelled at for looking at my phone in the chat, it's mainly because our Mark Side of the Ring host, our single host now, is texting me about some stuff. So if anyone wants to know, that's why I'm looking at my phone. Anyway, all right, let's do this. So my 3 best bets here. I like the Bengals as a +3. Honestly, I do. I forget where they're playing.
Minnesota.
That's it. Yeah. Yes, I like the Bengals as a +3. I don't know. They're home right now. I don't trust Kirk Cousins, as Nick said. Maybe Nick, it's because we watched him so long in Washington. And did you ever really fear Kirk Cousins? I mean, I don't know. That's just me. So I like them as a +3. I like the Rams to crush the Bears as well. I'm with Nick on that one. I think 7.5 at home. Stafford's first game, something to prove. He's finally with the team. I think Stafford's a good quarterback. I think he's this generation's Phillip Rivers and Romo, to where he's really good. He just can't get over that hump. And now he's on that team where he really could make a run and do something good. And if he sucks with them, then listen, man, you suck. That's just how it is. And I love the Packers. I know the game's being moved. I mean, Rodgers is something to prove. You know my love for Jordan Love, but Rodgers is probably his last year in Green Bay. Regardless of what happens, I think they just blow the Saints out. So -3.5 is really nothing to write home about. What they could win 28-17, and he covers the spread 28-24. I don't have other 2 bets, but the one game I am really looking forward to is the Panthers and Jets. I am really looking forward to that storyline with Darnold and Wilson. And that's what sports are made of. It's theater. And for that to match up on week 1 is just a beautiful thing as a football fan with nothing invested in the game. So I love that. And I think Darnold gets the best of the Jets. I just love that game. That's one game I'm going to be glued to. So those are my picks. Bengals +3, Rams -7.5, and Packers -3.5. One road team and 2 home teams. That's it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just jump in there because you mentioned the Jets. Whoever is the schedule maker for the NFL should definitely get a raise for that being a week 1 game. But I'm not looking forward to it. So I have the Broncos -3 against the Giants. And Nick pretty much explained all of my reasons by picking the game. Saquon on a pitch count, more or less. Broncos having a better quarterback than last year with the same elite defense. Both of their wide receivers look like they're healthy. They have a good tight end. At -3 is, I think that's my number 1 pick of the week. The 2 other games I like are both overs. Eagles and Falcons over 48. Both teams can score the football. Both teams don't have very good defenses on paper as per last year. Not much improvement on that side of the ball. So I'll take that over 48. And I'm going over 50 in the Green Bay New Orleans game. 2 high-powered offenses. Jameis Winston at the helm. They say he's going to hold back because he was under Drew Brees last year and he saw Drew Brees do it, yeah, that's all talk until you get out there week one and, you know, you're score 2 down and now you're chucking the ball. That's either going to end up in 6 for you or 6 for them. And the quicker points are scored, the better. So those are my 3 bets. I have some other ones that I like, but I'm not saying them because I don't want them counted against me because now Nick's all about this, like, oh, you have to win this year because, you know, last year somebody else won. So we'll give you your best 3, bank it, take it.
If you have other bets, Dick, then make your other bets. It's still your top 3 bets are the ones that are part of the standings.
I'm not doing it. And plus one of them is
we have great bets, but we're not going to tell you because we have personal animosity against the host of the show.
At least you know you're the fucking host now. All right. So with that being said, I do really like the Rams. That was one of my bets. And I did like the Ravens before they came down with this other rash of injury. I don't know if that's going to stop them from not covering 4, but I'm not touching it right now until I see him play a game at least. And there was, and for whatever reason, I had an inkling about the under for tonight's game with Dallas and Tampa, just because Thursday night games historically are lower scoring, especially it being week 1, first game. As much as nerves aren't a thing, it's still the first game of the season. You never know how people are going to come out and play. They're not going to play to their full potential. And I just think that for a Thursday game, line is a little bit too high.
All right, so my audible mention bets was I like Green Bay -3.5 against New Orleans. It's pretty much Aaron Rodgers versus Jameis. I trust Rodgers more than I do Jameis. I also like Indianapolis +2.5 against Seattle. That might be some Slate hatred towards Seattle. I don't know, but why not? It also Seattle's a different team at the home than on the road. This game is in Indianapolis. You know, Carson Wentz is playing. How many games will we get out of him? I don't know, but for week 1, he's playing.
Please be 70% of the season.
I hear you. Another game was I like Cincinnati +3 against Minnesota. Cincinnati is 35-17-2 against the spread in their last 54 September games. Wow. So bet them early. Later in the season, nah. But right now, another game I like was Pittsburgh +6.5 against Buffalo. Mike Tomlin as a dog is pretty successful against the spread. But my 3 top bets are 1, I like Baltimore's team total over 27.5. I don't know if I can bet that, but I like that bet. In 2000 last year, they put up 38 in week 1. In 2019, they put up 59 in week 2. And in 2018, they put up 47 in week 1. They've averaged 48 points since they drafted Lamar Jackson in week 1. If I can't take the team total, I'll take Baltimore -4 because I don't see the Raiders scoring more than 28 points. But I like the team total over. The second bet is, as you mentioned, Arizona, Tennessee, over 52.5. Tennessee's over is 22-7-1 in their last 30 games. And last year, their game totals averaged 56.6 points last year for both teams. So they can score. Arizona can score. The scoreboard should be lit up pretty well. And my third game, I got to do it, fellas. Give me the Niners, -7.5. Listen, if the San Fran don't win by double digits this game, I'm like, come on. It's the Lions. They're not going to be good. My team is healthy right now. Hopefully the health stays the whole season, but they should beat the brakes off of Detroit this week.
I like it, sir. Hey, can I just chime in real quick? So this year, again, we're doing the big time challenge. Please tweet us at SBFS Show with your 3-team parlay against the spread. You guys hit the 3-team parlay. We put you in the wheel and we spin. And, you know, if only one person hits that week, then they get the automatic free bet. And they can bet that on like the preseason wheel, bet it on whatever you want. Kyle finally put in his first bet for week 1. I will post that on our Twitter, so you guys check it out and go there and show us some love. Give us some likes. Tell him he's an idiot. It won't bother me. It's just found money at this point for him. And I still need Bradley and somebody else to give me what they're going to do with their bets. So if you're listening, please reach out to me, DM me. I I will forget, maybe. But either way, let me know.
Put 25 on Tampa plus 73 or whatever.
That's not a lot. That bet has already been spoken for.
Tim, also, if you win the big time challenge, if you actually win it, which I think there was only 2 or 3 winners last year. I was one of them, by the way. You will get a free Sharp Best Fantasy Sets t-shirt. You just have to send Tim the information. So that as well.
Address and size. You got to pay extra for 4X. We learned that the hard way, but you know, we'll splurge for the extra $250 or whatever it costs.
Right.
All right. Well, it's time for the main event. And what I think at least most people are looking for is the prop bets for tonight's game, which is the Dallas Cowboys against the reigning defending Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, sir, why don't we jump to you first in terms of your prop bets that you like for tonight?
All right. I have one prop bet. I didn't really get a chance to look into too deep, but the one bet I do like was over 61.5 receiving yards for CD Lamb. Like he plays good ball. They're gonna have to throw the ball against Tampa to keep up. So I do like that bet of 61.5.
Is that your only prop bet?
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to look too much, but yeah, that was one bet that like stuck out of me was I think he's gonna have a good season. So 62 yards in the first game. It's a lot big number, but it's not much. You know what I'm saying?
I will. I'll piggyback off you then because I have the same bet, but I have a little more research because I also have Gallup under 51.5 receiving yards. And the reason is because we know Carlton Davis and Jamal Dean are the outside cornerbacks for Tampa Bay. And we know Tampa Bay's defense doesn't have a lot of holes, but their biggest hole is the cornerback covering the slot, which is Sean Murphy-Bunting, who's one of the worst cornerbacks that they have. CeeDee Lamb playing the slot over 61.5. I'm going to pound that. I already mentioned I don't like Gallup very much. It's just hard for me to bet against Amari Cooper, so I'm going to bet against the guy who really didn't have a great year last year, didn't have his quarterback also, I understand, but I have under Gallup 51.5. I think the wide receiver that's going to benefit most from a yardage standpoint for Tampa is Chris Godwin, so I have his over 57.5. Great season with Brady towards the end of the year, and everything I've read out of camp for Antonio Brown has been really, really good. And he was a guy earlier in drafts I kind of stayed away from. He's a third wide receiver. I don't know what that looks like, but we know the man stays at Tom Brady's house, or at least did last year. Tom Brady loves this guy, and the camp notes on him have been really, really good. I don't trust a lot of what Bruce Arians has to say, but Bruce Arians said he looks like the Antonio Brown from a few years ago. Could be coach speak. But betting the over on 58.5 sounds good to me. I have 2 other bets. Dak Prescott under 294.5. I'm not trying to be a hater. It's his first game back, and he's playing arguably the best defense in the league. I just don't know what that looks like. I do like Dak from a fantasy standpoint. I do like Dak as a quarterback. I just don't know. And then playing into the fact that Tim made a great point earlier about just not a lot of points being scored in Thursday night games. I just don't like Dak in that sense, but I do have the Brady over 300.5 yards. Brady, multiple touchdown games in 11 straight games. I think he's going to be chucking the ball a lot. I don't know really what to expect from their running backs, and I didn't want to play against Zeke, although I wouldn't be surprised with the guys they have up front on the Tampa Bay line that Zeke would go under, but I believe the over-under was like either between 55 and 61. I won't quote it, and I just want to stay away from that. Dallas gave up 27 touchdowns to wide receivers, the worst in the NFL last year. So, and their defense is obviously not good this year. So I do like Mike Evans to score a touchdown. He was Brady's go-to red zone wide receiver target, albeit not so much in the Super Bowl. That went to Gronk and Antonio Brown. But I do like Mike Evans to score a touchdown. Those are my prop bets. Those are the bets that I've already made or am putting in. Tim, we'll go to you, and then we'll let Scott close it out since he's the fan. I also like, I would take, I don't know what the line is now, but I've seen it anywhere from 7.5 to 8.5. I would probably bet Tampa Bay on that. Tim, what do you got?
So I have some of the same theories that you do, Nick. So I had Godwin's over yardage 57.5 at minus 115. I also had Godwin anytime score at plus 115. For many of the reasons you just mentioned, we won't just waste any more time. I got Brady over 2.5 touchdowns at plus 125. I just feel like Dallas's defense, like you said, not that good against the pass. I could see Brady wanting to prove a point that I'm still here, boys, and it's going to be another long season for the rest of the NFL. And as a Jets fan, I fucking know all too well about that. Interesting bet. I think I'm taking Leonard Fournette's over 36.5 rushing yards. Not only is that one just big breaking rushing attempt, but I'm picturing that Tampa's going to be up at the end of the game and they're going to be pounding the rock, trying to ice the clock. And that's big Leonard for you. So I think that's a really solid bet to make. And last but not least, I threw in a little curveball. I took Greg Zuerlein over 6.5 points. 2 field goals, 1 extra point, 7. That's minus 140. So they think
Pretty good bet.
they think
Yeah.
they think that's gonna happen.
The one bet I did see was I didn't remember the exact odd, but it was over I think over a half interceptions thrown by Dak. I think he's gonna throw at least one pick this game because, as I said, Tampa's defense is pretty solid. He might if he's gonna have to throw the ball as much as I think, he might throw one to the other colors.
And there was another interesting bet. I don't. You could like do player parlay props, and one of them was plus 10,000. It was Ronald Jones to score 2 touchdowns and Mike Evans to score 2 touchdowns, and it was like plus 10,000. So I threw a donkey dollar on that because I'd be hell bent if that happens. And I lit the dollar on fire, but it would be a $100 dollar if the luckiest thing in the world comes through.
Oh well, I gotta hear this one. Go ahead.
No, I just have to touch on a couple things. Timmy said that the Dallas pass defense isn't good. It hasn't been good since 2004 when Darren Woodson retired. Literally, they haven't had a replacement for him. I'm sure Nick feels that way with Brian Dawkins. Like, it's not easy to replace a safety, and it doesn't make sense to me. But that's another day. We also haven't beat Tom Brady ever. We haven't beat the Patriots since like 1987. Now he's on the Bucks, and I bet you feel good that you passed him to the NFC, and now we're all experiencing this shit you've had to deal with for 20 years. That being said, Dak under the 295 or 294, I especially love as well. I say this because let's go back in 2014 when the Cowboys thought that their defense was going to be terrible. They really pounded the rock with DeMarco Murray, and like Romo did not have to do that much. I feel like they're going to try that this game, even though it might not work, but this season might be a lot of that. Their offense is really good, but the key is keeping their defense off the field. So like they got to kind of play that type of game that they did in 2014. I also love in 2017, I remember, I think it was after the Pats won the Super Bowl, the Chiefs went into New England on that Thursday night, and the Chiefs beat them with Alex Smith. This is why, like, I think a lot of these times on these Thursday night games, it's up in the air, and I like the Cowboys to score first on a plus 135. They might have 28 unanswered after this, but if the Cowboys get the ball first, I expect them to go down the field, score a touchdown, us all to get excited, and then the Bucks just run off 24 straight points. So that is a plus 35 I actually like. Other than that, that's it, man. Just the Dak under and the plus 35, but I do expect the Cowboys to be 0-1 going into tomorrow, which sucks as a fan. I expect us all to be 0-1, except maybe Sir. But
do they cover 7.5, Scott?
yes, I do think they do. I think they cover 7.5. I think this game's closer than people think. I really do. Just because it's
especially in week 1, Brady's usually not a very quick starter.
right. Ask
7.5 is a lot of points.
Guys, be honest. Would you rather play the Bucks week 1 or week 8?
Week 0. I would not
seriously.
I wouldn't want to play them.
Seriously, you want the team early on before they get on a roll. Like, how many times do you hear in your career, in Brady's career, when they're 2-2, 2-3, 3-2? Oh, this isn't the year, and then he goes on a fucking run. This is what happened last year with the Bucks. What were they, 2-2, and everyone was like, maybe it's time to hang it up. And Bruce Arians was questioning them, and then they win the Super Bowl. You're better off catching these teams early. That's when you're better off catching them.
Especially for the Cowboys, it's the best time for them to see the Bucks because who knows how long Dak's going to last this season. So
Yeah,
it's the
and
best time for y'all.
Yeah, you might as well play him now because you ain't seen him in the playoffs because you ain't getting there.
Like, you might not see Dak in week 6, you know what I'm saying? But who knows?
Hey,
For my fantasy team hopes that that's not the case, but
that's it though for me, man.
All right. Well, that's it. Does anybody have anything else?
I do because the prediction thing never got up. Can you guys give your Super Bowl picks?
What we thought they were?
Yeah, what you think your Super Bowl picks are going to be?
Oh, I said a repeat of last season.
Okay.
I went on a big limb there.
And the Bucks are going to win again?
No, KC wins.
Okay.
Passing of the torch.
I think I said Green Bay over Buffalo, but I truly don't remember. I'm almost positive I said Green Bay, though. I know that.
Nice. Sir?
I think Casey makes it out of the AFC. I am not talking about the NFC.
Ooh,
Sir picked his Niners to win the Super Bowl.
Because last time I mentioned the Niners, it blew up in my face. So, nope, not saying a word.
I got the Bills.
Chiefs out of the AFC.
I got the Bills Rams, just so I don't have the same type of teams. So thanks for joining week 1. Nick has to deal with something really quick, so we're wrapping up here.
Yeah, kickoff starting. Let's go watch some football.
I thought he texted you asking Sir to do a rap. I don't know what like.
Well, he's
Sir,
on the phone. He's on the phone right now with the Bucks putting in his prop bets. So I will see you guys. I won't see you guys. Week 2 will be great. Enjoy the night and have fun this weekend. Have some drinks. Enjoy week 1. It's like Christmas morning or whatever holiday you celebrate. Bye, everyone.